And don't forget, buying from them is a great way to get new products with great discounts by also bringing in your used items for store credit or cash on the spot. Play it against sports at 48th and Vine.
Power Combo BOGO? Huh?
Yes, if you purchase an air conditioner, you receive a furnace completely free. At John Henry's, our professionals want to ensure you are comfortable in your home all year long, no matter what Nebraska has to throw at us. Call today to schedule your free estimate and learn more about the free furnace waiting for you. Give John Henry's a call today.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air,
and Electrical.
Bagels and Joe is the perfect place for breakfast or lunch in April. Try their brand new cake batter cream cheese on any breakfast sandwich. And try the caramel latte, as 10% of proceeds from that drink will go to the Foundation for Lincoln Public Schools. 4 locations in Lincoln and 1 in Seward. Bagels and Joe.
Are you looking to get into the electrical construction industry or wanting a new scene? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Homeowners, is your yard in distress? Is your lawn being held hostage by stubborn and unruly weeds? Never fear, lawn lovers. Weedman is here. We'll rescue your lawn and restore its beautiful emerald green glory. The results of our expertly applied program are sure to impress the toughest of critics, your neighbors. Take that, Dale. Vanquish weeds and transform your lawn this year with Weedman Lawn Care. Get 50% off your first application. Go to weedman.com today. Terms and conditions apply. Go to weedman.com today.
It's officially one of the greatest weeks of the year on the sports calendar, Masters Week. Book your tee time today with friends, family, or coworkers at Double Eagle Golf inside the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street. Doors open at 10 a.m. from Thursday to Sunday, and they'll have food directly from Augusta National, like pimento cheese sandwiches, Georgia pecan caramel popcorn, and lots more. Plus specialty drinks to get you in the mood for the greatest golf tournament in the world. Book a bay today at doubleeagle.golf.
Welcome into the Malone Radio Show, sponsored by The Post. Here are your hosts, Executive Director John Goodwin and Athletic Director Michael Hunter. The Malone Radio Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back. Well, I'm going to just say I am back. I don't know what Michael Hunter is. He is. We still got Harrison's on the 1 and 2s. What's up, Harrison?
I'm doing good and reliable. An important quality.
And reliable. You hear that? Mike, if you're listening on your way to 93.7 The Ticket, he said he's reliable. So we don't know what Mike is. Hopefully he gets here okay. This is John Goodwin. I am the CEO of the Clyde Malone Community Center here in Lincoln, Nebraska, the Malone Radio Show. And you know how we get started with our vision and mission. Our vision is to create unity and prosperity throughout Lincoln while honoring our African-American heritage. And the mission is to eliminate multi-generational poverty in Lincoln. And we do that with the holistic programs that we offer: preschool, after-school programs, middle school, after-school programs at Color Middle School, maternal wellness, health and healing, mental health, sports, teen programming, program with the police department. Take pause. Mm-hmm. And that's been very successful. In fact, it's been so successful. We have a special guest tonight, Harrison. Harrison, how you doing on the 1s and 2s?
I'm doing great. I was mentioning before you came in here, I asked me how the night was, and it's my job's so easy this time of year. You got NBA playoffs, spring game Saturday, NFL draft tomorrow. Not the biggest baseball fan, but it's right there if I ever want to dive into that as well. I mean, Stanley Cup playoffs. It is kind of I'm a March Madness guy, but this is probably right up there in terms of like golden months of sports.
And Harrison, I will say, since you mentioned sports, we're going to say this before we dive in. The Chicago Bears, let's start right there, because we're sitting among a Green Bay Packer fan. I'm not going to mention him right now. But Harrison, we have the first pick and I think the 9th pick. But most importantly, what's circling around in the news lately is this $5 billion stadium.
Yeah. Keeping it in Chicago too. Keeping it out of
In
the suburbs.
Chicago. Now there's some people complaining, taxpayers saying, you know what? We're not trying to pay it. Yes, you are. Go ahead and pay them taxes.
Yeah, I don't live there. That was my thought. It's like, I don't live there. I'm down for it.
Listen, man, to get a dome in Chicago outside off that lakefront, I don't know if you've ever been to a game there, but you can feel that air in the summertime. And hopefully you have good seats, because if you're sitting real high, you can forget about it, especially if they losing. And I've been to some of those games. I've been to some Green Bay games in Green Bay, actually, and that was a trip too. I won't say never, but it's always been disappointing for the last, 10, 20 years. We haven't won a game in Green Bay. But I'm excited about what the Bears is going to do tomorrow. Although I'm going to miss Justin Fields, but whoever we get, he better come and represent, because we need something bad in Chicago.
You have good faith in Caleb Williams? I mean, I don't see him going anywhere else with it.
I don't have no faith in Caleb Williams. He's going to have to prove himself to me. He's doing a lot of talking right now.
Mm-hmm.
So we just going to have to make sure that let's hold up to the talk. You come in here, let's score this. Let's beat Green Bay first.
Happen.
Can we beat? See, the voice that you just heard is not going to happen. It's not your conscience. It's actually our special guest, frat brother, Captain Tarvis Banks.
Good afternoon.
Who is a big Green Bay fan. And we have our odds. That's about the only odd that we have. Everything else we agree with.
That's about right.
So he's definitely on the show tonight. We definitely want to be able to get some shots out to him, as well as the SWAT team and LPD, who is out there doing a great job. I see my sister. Let me just send some shots out to my sister all the way from Chicago, Illinois, Deshaun Goodwin Wallace. You are the oldest. I will remind you, you are the oldest, and I am the youngest, but I may look the oldest. But shouts out to you, shouts out to moms, as well as Brandon McWilliams. I want to give a shout out to Brandon McWilliams, who I seen tonight at the Lighthouse event, who he was on the show a few months ago and actually did a phenomenal job. And he is your Strength Finders coach. He's coming. He's going to have some great things popping up here in the next few weeks. Very excited about him. If you have not taken your Strength Finders, if you don't know what your strengths are, please reach out to Brandon McWilliams. Brandon McWilliams. So Tarvis, he's on the hot seat. I've been knowing Tarvis Banks since he was in 9th grade.
Yeah.
9th grade, Lincoln High School. When I worked there, Tarvis came in there, big old brother, about 7'3", 280 pounds.
Go ahead, tell that story. I was nodding my head.
Well, we got Tarvis in the show tonight. Tarvis, how you doing tonight, brother?
I'm doing all right. I'm doing pretty good.
Tarvis is, he's one of my frat brothers. We go a long way. We have some, we probably can't tell some of these stories that we that we were involved in. But I will say that it wasn't bad stories. I just, people will probably get in trouble today. It wasn't that bad back then, but now, everything you can get in trouble about.
It's a different era.
Different era. I always say that to all those LeBron James fans. Different era. Mm-hmm. Okay. Dan Davis, how you doing tonight, brother? So here we are. Tarvis Banks. Give us a little bit about what and how. Are you from Lincoln? Were you born and raised here? What school did you go to, from elementary to middle to high school? Give us some of the things you did in high school. Let's set the tone with this story here, and we can go from there.
Okay. How detailed you trying to get now? I don't want to get into a 30-minute dialogue.
Yeah, we ain't going. Let's not go that deep. We're gonna keep it PG.
Okay. It all started in 1984.
Yeah.
No, but
Oh man.
on a serious note though, but I'm born and raised in Lincoln. I've been in Lincoln all my life. My parents came from Clarksdale, Mississippi. So they moved up here. My aunt, she's since passed away, but my aunt and my uncle moved up here and told my parents to come up, check out Lincoln. It's a good community, raise kids. They're still in Clarksdale at the time. My dad convinced my mom to come on up. They came up, and so now I was born here in Lincoln. Since then, I went to McPhee Elementary School, Campbell Elementary School, and I got built in '96, I believe it was.
Wow.
And then I went to Goodrich Middle School and Lincoln High. Got Lincoln High, played, I tried to play all the sports, but tried to play some basketball, didn't quite work out. I fouled out too much. So this basketball coach said, have you tried wrestling? You foul out too much. And so I tried that out, and it actually did well for me. So I wrestled my sophomore year, and I loved it. I fell in love with it, and I ended up placing a state in high school, and played football since middle school, and that took off. Hit the weight room, fell in love with that, and hit some records down there in Lincoln High with the weight room. And as I got into football, I was all state, super state. Kind of did my thing in high school and ended up being in the Hall of Fame. Later on in life, they nominated me for that, got selected for that. So I had some scholarship offers out from high school and for football and wrestling, but I ended up doing football. I ended up going to Nebraska Omaha D2 school up there when they had the football program up there.
Yep.
I had some walk-on offers from D1 schools, but my dad knocked some sense into me because I wanted to play D1 ball. He was like, "Hey, it's free school, it's free school."
Mhm.
So he said, "Look at D2. They're offering to pay everything for you." So that was a blessing in disguise for me because I got out of school with $0 in fees. So that was big for me. But I ended up going to UNO. I had a ball up there. It was a good time. Played right away. Some good dudes I played with. We had some guys that went to the league from there. We averaged about 1 or 2 a year that went to NFL. But it was a great school, good quality football, good education up there. They had one of the top 10 CJ programs in the nation at the time, up at UNO. So I had a good time, got a good education, graduated. Ended up playing a 5th year, tore my ACL my sophomore year. So I played an extra year. So I got half my grad school done there for free. Finished it up when I was working at LPD.
So let's back up for a second. So did you do any sports before you got to high school?
Yeah, I played a little bit of everything.
Okay, so a little bit of everything. And when you got to high school, you tried a little bit of everything, but you basically did football and wrestle.
Yep.
How did those two sports help the other? So how did wrestling help football, and how did football help wrestling?
So wrestling helped me out with football because of just footwork and body mechanics. It helped me just to get a feel of how to move one person against another, or how to move bodies back and forth, and how to maneuver an individual to get them to the ground. It helped me out with the maneuver in the offensive line, defensive line. So I knew if you step with one foot, I could move this way. I knew I could knock you off balance this way. And as my skills got better in wrestling, my football skills got better because I knew how to maneuver on the line of scrimmage and help my footwork out. And actually, wrestling helped my strength conditioning out because I really didn't know true conditioning until I got on that wrestling mat. And I'm telling you, wrestling shape is a whole different shape because it's just you and one other person. You got to be ready. So when I got in wrestling shape, football was nothing as far as conditioning. I was like, I got it. If I got wrestling shape, I can get in football shape.
So they're kind of hand in hand.
Yeah.
And that's what I really wanted to bring out, because you have kids today, not all of them, but some kids who just want to play one sport and want to be just good at that one sport. And I see the logic to that, but at the same time, multiple sports really help you develop. One, you're competing all the time. That competition is very important. And it also gives sections of your body rest for you to be able to use other parts of your body. I was listening to like Derrick Rose. He did an interview one time, and Derrick Rose was, if he didn't get hurt, he probably would have been one of the top point guards ever.
hands down.
Youngest
Ever.
MVP ever.
Man,
Hands down.
ever. Like, he was very explosive, very unique, powerful. I mean, just and he's from Chicago. You know, I got to go ahead. Shouts out to Inglewood. So, well, I got the greatest food in there ever. So what I'm saying is that he did the interview and he was just like, I wish I would have played another sport. He says, because me continuously playing one sport just really wore his body down.
Yeah, overuse injuries.
And I try to tell that to the young people now, like, look, basketball may be your sport, but do some track, do some football, get into some wrestling, train your body in different things. And, some listen, some don't, but it's very important to really get into those different, and all your great athletes played multiple sports. Michael Jordan, Ivan the Answer, Gary Payton, even LeBron James, all these different athletes, they've played different sports, and you see where they are, and that's just huge. So you mentioned the playing the sports, you mentioned going to UNO, and your dad knocked some sense into your head, because I know the overall dream is really to go D1.
Right.
Not saying that you couldn't have done D1, believe that you could have done D1, but you got your education paid for.
Yeah.
You not stuck with, you said you not stuck with all these student loans.
Right.
I walked on at a couple of spots, and it wasn't a play. It was just trying to get at my education. Hey, so and I'm stuck with these student loans, right? So that right there, listening to someone that has some wisdom is another key, because you mentioned a lot in that story. So I really want to bring those things out, is that there are people who are really watching out for you to help you make really smart decisions. And it behooves us to really just listen to them and take heed of what they're saying and follow what they're saying. We may not understand it now, but look at you now. You out of school with no debt.
None. Zero.
And that's the most important part of that. Got your education and you got it done for free. With going to school, you got into, you saying you majored in what in college?
I was a criminal justice major, and I minored in history, and I minored in you got me on the spot now, sociology.
Okay. And then you saying from there you went into.
From there, I went to grad school after the fact, but that was after my 5th year when I tore my ACL my sophomore year. So I graduated in 4 years, and I needed to be a student of some sort. So I said, well, I'm going to grad school, and I'm one of those guys. If I start something, I got to finish it. But I ended up starting grad school and did my half of it for free. So I did public administration, and then I did a concentration in criminology in my master's degree up there.
Yeah. So now you rolling. You finish your master's. You get into Lincoln Police Department. Why? Really, what made you want to become a police officer? One.
Well,
let's get down to this.
So at first, when I got into college, I was looking at being a food scientist. So at first I was like, what, I'm trying to do this thing, be a food scientist, like individuals like say Kellogg cereal and say, I want to make something zero sugar.
Hold on, Harrison, he would have been the biggest, buffest food scientist ever. Like, I'm a food scientist.
To be fair, I would have ate what he was cooking.
Whatever you cooking, just give it to me. I got you.
But the problem is, you got to take a lot of science.
Yeah.
So I took a couple science classes. And I'm like, I don't know if this thing's for me. And so I really enjoyed criminal justice classes that I took. Had some free gen ed classes that I took initially when I got into campus. And so I said, I'm gonna try this criminal justice degree out, and I fell in love with it. And when I did that, I did an internship with Omaha Police Department, and that's what really caught the bug for the policing thing, because I worked in the special victims unit, and I saw the work that they did and what they did for the community and how they're out and about. They weren't stuck in a cubicle all day, and I knew I didn't want to be in a cubicle all day, sitting down doing, staying in front of a computer. So it's like a quarter of my job, and most of the time I'm out talking to people, driving around, mingling with the community. And I was like, this is something I kind of want to do right here. So I applied when I graduated. I applied everywhere. I did Lincoln, Omaha, Kansas City PD, Bellevue, and Lincoln hired the fastest. So I was like, I'm going back home and do Lincoln.
Wow. Okay. You trying to get out of here, Harrison. That's basically what he was saying. Let me get out of here because I do not want to pull somebody over I went to play high school with or playing football with. And and I owe them a favor of $20 for that burger that they gave me for me. So you got into the police. So going to school sparked your interest.
Mm-hmm.
The experiences that you had with the special unit. Now I watch that on TV, but I don't think that's the same. But I get stuck on that special crime unit with dum 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 no, and I get hooked. I'm like, okay, one more. Dang it. Okay, one more. And I get hooked. And Chastity is like, why do you watch this? It's not real. I mean, that's why I hate watching stuff with real police officers because they take all the suspense out of that we wouldn't even do that. We wouldn't even do that.
It infuriates you watching it. You're like, hey, it's not real. You can't solve that crime that fast.
Man, they got an hour. You know, you got to be able to solve it. You know what I mean? So let it roll.
You can't blow up a picture like that and get HD imaging of a license plate. You can't do that. You know,
Man, listen, I'll be trying. I'll be thinking that happens. Look, we'll be right back. We have a quick commercial break, but we'll be back on 93.7 The Ticket with Tarvis Banks.
Community means something different to everyone. But for me, it means cheering on those around you during the good times and helping them out during the tough times. I'm softball player Jordy Ball, and I've been blessed with the support of my friends, family, coaches, and community throughout my life. When looking for a bank to call home, it was easy to choose Midwest Bank. I never feel like just another customer, and they're proud to support their communities. They love what they do, and it shows. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank.
Hey Nebraska! Register today for the 40th annual Cornhusker State Games, taking place July 11th through the 21st in Lincoln, Omaha, and other Nebraska communities. The Cornhusker State Games features 70 sports for athletes of all ages and abilities. Price increases are approaching, so register early and save. For details, go to cornhuskerstategames.com. Rehydrate, replenish, refuel with Gatorade, brought to you by Pepsi Cola of Lincoln, a proud partner of the Cornhusker State Games.
Spring sports are here and it's time to upgrade your equipment. But don't go rushing to your big box store. Play It Again Sports is your place to go for all spring sports equipment for baseball, softball, golf, and disc golf. Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And don't forget, buying from them is a great way to get new products with great discounts by also bringing in your used items for store credit or cash on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Power combo BOGO? Huh?
Yes, if you purchase an air conditioner, you receive a furnace completely free. At John Henry's, our professionals want to ensure you are comfortable in your home all year long, no matter what Nebraska has to throw at us. Call today to schedule your free estimate and learn more about the free furnace waiting for you. Give John Henry's a call today.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
And electrical.
Bagels and Joe is the perfect place for breakfast or lunch in April. Try their brand new cake batter cream cheese on any breakfast sandwich. And try the caramel latte, as 10% of proceeds from that drink will go to the Foundation for Lincoln Public Schools. 4 locations in Lincoln and 1 in Seward. Bagels and Joe.
Are you looking to get into the electrical construction industry or wanting a new scene? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Homeowners, is your yard in distress? Is your lawn being held hostage by stubborn and unruly weeds? Never fear, lawn lovers. Weedman is here. We'll rescue your lawn and restore its beautiful emerald green glory. The results of our expertly applied program are sure to impress the toughest of critics, your neighbors. Take that, Dale. Vanquish weeds and transform your lawn this year with Weedman Lawn Care. Get 50% off your first application. Go to weedman.com today. Terms and conditions apply. Go to weedman.com today.
It's officially one of the greatest weeks of the year on the sports calendar, Masters Week. Book your tee time today with friends, family, or coworkers at Double Eagle Golf inside the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street. Doors open at 10 a.m. from Thursday to Sunday, and they'll have food directly from Augusta National, like pimento cheese sandwiches, Georgia pecan caramel popcorn, and lots more. Plus specialty drinks to get you in the mood for the greatest golf tournament in the world. Book a bay today at doubleeagle.golf.
School tells you all about the four seasons: spring, summer, and so on. And then there's a way we really tell what time of year it is. Sports seasons: football season, baseball season, or even off season. Well, what's the chocolate season? Well, it's now, of course. And now, and always. Whether you're looking for a caffeinated pick-me-up on the way to work, a little snack on the way home, or you need the perfect gift that's sure to be appreciated, it's time for the chocolate season, y'all. 40th and Old Cheney, or order ahead at thechocolatseason.com. See you there.
Okay, it's time to sell the house. How do we even begin to choose from the hundreds of realtors in town?
Easy. We make a pros list.
You mean a pros and cons list?
No, just a pros list. We need someone with pro photography to showcase the house in the best possible way, pro marketing to make sure we get maximum exposure, pro negotiations so we know we get the best price.
This is one of those times where you already know the right answer, isn't it?
You know it is. Ben Bleicher and Professional Realty Group.
Contact Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's Home Services Ambassador. Online at prg-ne.com.
It's the best time of the year to order a new John Deere sprayer during Landmark Implement's Fast Start Early Order program. Leverage the industry's latest technology with See and Spray to target weeds in season in corn and soybeans and use less herbicide per acre. Utilize Exact Apply to save in chemical usage and prevent over-application. Now is the time to lock in the best price of the year during Landmark Implement's Fast Start Early Order program. Contact your local Landmark location for full details and experience the Landmark difference.
Attention all Wings fans. 89-cent wings are back on Tuesdays at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Lincoln. Enjoy the best wings in town for boneless or traditional at a price that makes the whole family happy. And now at the Williamsburg Village Wings and Rings, you can enjoy $1.50 tall boys in Bud Light, Coors Light, Busch Light, and Michelob Ultra every day after 7 p.m. and all day on Sundays. Get to Wings and Rings today and make sure to stop by on Tuesdays for 89-cent wings.
Not many businesses can say they've made it 60 years, but Madsen's Bowling and Billiards can. With 12 bowling lanes and the biggest pool room in Nebraska, where else would you go to enjoy an afternoon or evening? There's a great daily specials like $2 Tuesdays, games of bowling, shoe rentals, draft beers, and tacos, all just $2 each. Have a delicious burger at EJ's Lounge before or after your bowling or pool session, and you'll leave satisfied. Madsen's Bowling and Billiards at 47th and Dudley.
Now back to the Malone Radio Show, sponsored by The Post on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back. The Malone Radio Show, 93.7 The Ticket. You know, if this was a station where it was just music playing, this voice right here would just soothe the night. This is 93.7, where we play the best of the best smooth jazz. Up next, a little Brian McKnight. Hey, can that work? Y'all let me know if that'll work. Hey, this is my own radio show. Want to get shouts out to Jesse Foster at the Post. Listen, if you have not been to the Post in the Telegraph, please stop by and see Jesse Foster. He has really great things going on. If you're a drinker, there's drinks, there's games. There's singing, there's dancing. There's a lot of things going on there. If you would love to go, please, 93. I'm giving the radio station
another plug.
Right, another plug for 93.7 The Ticket. Listen, just go over there to the Telegraph and visit the Post. You go check them out. Real quick, on commercial, we were still talking about these TV shows. Harrison, what was the TV show you was bringing up?
Yeah, there's been a few of them. I think was Doug the Bounty Hunter. That was like a really big one. I'm always just curious, like these bounty hunters on TV, like how real is that? And then the amount of power those guys actually have. Like sometimes seem like a great guy, fantastic. Sometimes I'm a little concerned on those TV shows with how much power they have.
So it depends on the state and the jurisdiction they're at, what authority they have, what they can and can't do. Yeah, I guarantee a lot of it's embellished. It's built up for TV, but it just depends on the state and the jurisdiction. But here we don't have that here.
It's interesting. It's just interesting the shows. Like we have, I watched SWAT, and I was watching it. And I don't know who I was talking to. It wasn't you. It may have been Mario at the time. It was like, man, half that stuff that we don't even do.
Nah.
Like, what is this stuff? And what all do you do with LPD?
So I am.
That you can tell us.
Oh, okay. Yes. No, I'm currently the Northwest team captain on the police department. So we have 4 precincts in the city. We have Southwest, Northwest, Southeast, and Northeast. So I'm the Northwest team captain. And that's pretty much, to simplify it, it's everything north of O Street and everything west of 27th Street. It's my area. So it's just the fourth of the city. I have 43 officers, 7 sergeants working for me right now. And so, yeah, that's my area. And I'm also the team commander for the SWAT team. I've been on the SWAT team for over a decade. And the last 2 years, I came back, got promoted off the team, and I came back as the team captain and commander now.
Now, what you say, team commander? What does that role involve? What does that entail?
So basically, I am the leader of the SWAT team. So I do all the admin and basically all the paperwork and whatnot for the SWAT team now. Yeah. So yeah,
the paperwork.
Yeah,
and get dirty if I really have to.
None of the fun stuff like I used to do. I supervise it now.
Supervise. Yeah. You. How long have you been with the police department?
I've been there for 17 years in December now.
Wow.
Yeah,
bro. 17 years. I remember when you just started.
It feels like I've been there for like 5. It flies by.
Wow.
Appreciate the service.
Yeah.
17 years.
17 years.
Yeah, appreciate it.
How many African Americans on the police force?
There are 3 of us total, including myself.
Okay, now let me ask that question again. How many African Americans is on the Lincoln Police Department?
Now, that's 3. That's 1, 2, 3, including me.
Uno, dos, tres.
Yeah, we have about 320 something officers in the police department right now. And 3.
Wow. So, and you're a captain.
Yes.
So you the only African American captain.
Yes.
And so, wow. Okay, this is what we're talking about. So we had Marcus on. Marcus did clown you. I will say, Marcus with the fire department. Marcus clowned you and said that you don't do nothing.
Look, that fool can sleep on duty, work out on duty, watch TV, eat chili. Don't let him eat chili. Firefighters eat chili. You got the handlebar mustaches and whatnot. Nah, don't let him do me.
Oh, Marcus eating chili. Out of all the foods, chili. I didn't know they eat chili like that.
Be chili.
So cops, donuts.
Yeah, firefighters chili. Yeah,
with the cinnamon roll.
With the cinnamon roll on the side.
Is that a Nebraska thing?
I mean, separate. I'm not the dipper, but yeah, it is Nebraska. In my high school, Northeast Nebraska, we had it probably once, twice every month.
Yeah, it's a Nebraska thing.
Chili and cinnamon roll.
Everywhere I go, I say, get a cinnamon roll. They say, what? I'm like, it's the sweet and the salty, man.
Man, give me some crackers. Put a little not sour cream, a little cream cheese.
You can do that.
Some cheese. Oh man.
But you gotta get the cinnamon roll on the side. Like a hot fresh cinnamon roll with it. You break it apart and dip it in that bad boy.
My family in Chicago, listen, get you some chili and a cinnamon roll and let me know what that's like.
Try it. I'm telling you, change your life.
Y'all try that and let me know what that's like.
It's about to bless your mouth.
So there's only three. Is there anything, I mean, why is it only 3? What do you think the cause of that is?
Man, it's a multitude of things. It's hard to recruit right now African American officers post George Floyd incident, and outside of that is just an attrition through the testing process, background checks, credit checks, psychological exams, lie detector tests, and you get all the way through all that. It just dwindles down. That's everybody in general, but the few numbers you do get with African Americans, the 3 or 4 you might get in the application process, they get washed out, and it's hard. Or the few you do get in, they say, hey, this ain't for me. Life, family. We have some that family's not really fond of them being a police officer. We have some that they get into it and you're like, you know what, I can't do it right now because I feel conflicted internally. We had some through attrition, leave the department, post George Floyd. They're like, you know, I just, it's hard on me mentally, my mental health. I got to leave, and I respect it, but it's hard because it's fewer and fewer of us to show representation to the community that, you know, we are out here as police officers and we can do this.
Okay, you said something that was interesting. Out of all the things he said credit checks. Now listen, if y'all maybe take the credit checks off, we may have a chance. We may have a chance for more African American. Listen, I'm just saying, you know, credit checks, you know, some people just have it rough sometimes, and then they turn it around and their credit is not where it needs to be. I mean, we might have to compromise on that, and maybe a couple of other things that we can talk offline, but we probably get about 20 of them tomorrow based on what I tell you doing commercial. Hey, but you mentioned George Floyd. That when I started at the Malone 2019, the late 2019, I rolled into 2020 and everything just hit the fan. So you have COVID and you have George Floyd.
Yeah.
Now, as an African American, and you really wearing two hats, or 3, 4, if you want to count like family and being a man. So not only are you a man, you are a African American man on a police force. Tell me that experience, like, because my wife was the only, probably the only Black female on the police department at the time.
She was.
And I know from being, you know, for her coming home, what that experience was like, because I had to listen to it. I had to hear it and deal with it with her because she was going through it. And her being a Black female, that's one thing. It's like, man, okay, shoot. You get on the force to try to make differences. And then here it is as you're a police officer and trying to juggle it all on top of you all being a police officer. During that time, you also had a police officer around that time get killed as well.
We did.
So mentally, I know from experience, just watching my wife, how she dealt with that. And she was one of the ones that said, you know what, I don't think I'm able to do this anymore. You know, I'm tired. I'm 20 years in, and I'm just like, so how, for you, your experience, what was that like to actually go through? Because I know at home that you ain't got to go through those personal details, but I know when you got home, you was just like, man.
Yeah, it was, if I could sum it up in one word, it was exhausting. It was mentally exhausting because you had it from one side where you feel and you side with the sentiment and the anger, what's going on. Because as an African American in the United States, you understand it, you feel it, and it enrages you at the same time. But on the flip side of things, there are agencies and there are officers who put their lives on the line to do great things in the community. And so I side on that side as well. And you get mentally conflicted sometimes where you have a riot going on in front of your police station. And he's like, I can't stand for the infrastructure of my city going down. But at the same time, you feel it. So it's hard. Yeah, it was a hard 2 years. But at the same time, I was you know, I had you have to excuse me, man.
You all right?
Yeah.
This is why I asked that question, is because me dealing with it as a husband, I watch my wife deal with it, the effect of this.
Yeah.
Right. And you get community, your own community, to turn on you, to talk about you, people that you thought you were friends with, and they turn their back on you. Right. And it's like, man, you just asked me a question to help you. Now you're on Facebook and on social media dogging me out because I'm over here trying to bring peace on both sides, right? And it's difficult. People be like, oh, you police, man, look, we highly respect the Malone Center. Look, our community highly respect this man, Tarvis Banks. Why? Because he stuck through it, right? Not saying that the people that left, they were weak. Not saying that. I'm saying that he endured through a struggle, and it was mentally, physically, and to get people that was close to him, which was close to my wife too, dog you out and talk about you and say this and say that. And then as a man, as a husband, I have to defend. Now, granted, I'm CEO of the Malone Center. The last thing I want to do is go completely off, right? But at the same time, I'm a man first, right? I'm a man, and that's my family, and I protect my family. And what he was doing is doing the same thing. So he really didn't get a break. Like, the police officers didn't get a break. And just think of the black police officers who didn't get a break even at home.
Yeah. It's a lot.
Yeah. That people don't understand that. I probably wouldn't have understood it either if I didn't have someone in it. Right? She couldn't sleep. Always listening to her phone because her phone may go off and they have to go. And you was with SWAT, so you didn't get it was
all the time, 24/7, 365.
And that's what people need to understand. Is like police officers are normal people. Right? Now, you have bad people everywhere. There's bad police officers. There are a couple of them. There are bad firemen. There are bad teachers. There are bad administrators. There are bad pastors. Let me just say that. There's bad deacons in the church. Like, they're everywhere, right? So we can't say every one of them are bad, right? But what hurts the most is that people grew up with you, that been knowing you from since a baby, not give you the support that you needed at the time when you actually really needed the support. Not come to my birthday party, right? Not come to my kid's birthday party. Not come to my graduation, right? Yeah, I got family. But where were you at when I actually really needed you? That's why I respect that. I respect him and his family way before that. But we looked at him I looked at my wife and I looked at other police officers in a different eye, because the stuff that they went through, right? They could have lost their life for a community who some of them didn't appreciate the fact. Man, don't get me going on that, man. Because I'm getting a little, when you rub, when a brother rub their neck and stuff like that, or their head, you get a little hot. Listen, we're going to take a quick, we got to go to commercial because things may be tearing up in here, man. And Harrison getting a little nervous over there. This is the Malone Radio Show, 93.7 The Ticket.
Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Hi, I'm Senator Bo Ballard. I was born and raised in Lancaster County, learning the value of hard work and grit at a young age. I built my own company, creating jobs right here in our community. I know that families and businesses in our community need lower taxes, lower cost of healthcare, and a great education. That's why, as your senator, I helped pass the largest tax cut and made the most significant investment in education in Nebraska history and worked to reduce the cost of healthcare. I'm Senator Bo Ballard, and I humbly ask for your vote on May 14th. Paid for by Ballard for Nebraska.
Sandhills Global is hiring. With their fast-paced, growing culture, they have hundreds of new openings in sales, marketing, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Full-time roles offer a 4.5-day work week, along with flexible internships in most areas. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Find your fit today at www.sandhills.jobs.
I see the future in our public school classrooms every day. I'm Jenny Benson, president of the Nebraska State Education Association. I also see how critically important parent and community support is to our students' success. Support your public schools. Get involved. Form a business school partnership or become a school volunteer. Great schools and great communities work hand in hand.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Serve Nebraska believes that volunteers are part of what makes Nebraska great. Each year, the Step Forward Awards honors volunteers from across the state who serve their communities in outstanding ways. We hope you'll join us this year at the Step Forward Awards luncheon on October 27th in Omaha. Help us thank volunteers with a celebration to remember. To register, visit serve.nebraska.gov and click Register Now. We hope to see you there. Paid for by Serve Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Get it, slip it, cuff it, check it. Talk to doctor now and share it.
I get it, slip it, cuff it, check it twice a day.
I get it, slip it, cuff it, check it in the morning and before dinner.
I get it, slip it, cuff it, check it, and share it with my doctor.
Nearly 1 in 2 U.S. adults have high blood pressure. That's why it's important to self-monitor your blood pressure in 4 easy-to-remember steps. It starts with a monitor.
Now that I know my blood pressure numbers, I talked with my doctor. We're getting those numbers down.
Get it, slip it, cuff it, check it. Talk to doctor now and share it.
Be next to talk to your doctor about your blood pressure numbers. Get down with your blood pressure. Self-monitoring is power. Learn more at manageyourbp.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council, the American Heart Association, and the American Medical Association, in partnership with the Office of Minority Health and Health Resources and Services Administration.
Now back to the Malone Radio Show, sponsored by The Post on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, I'm back. We woosah. We back in. We back. We done calmed down. We done calmed down. I am here with Captain Tarvis Banks. If y'all don't know Tarvis, y'all need to get to know him. He's out in the community. He's the biggest, buffest black police officer that's here.
Man, me sound good, man. Go ahead.
I didn't say sexy. I just said big.
Oh, okay.
Black. Like we gotta. You said make me sound good.
Yeah, go ahead, keep going.
But it's fact. This is Harrison. Like if you see him, you know, okay, that's Tarvis.
Yeah,
right?
I'm not gonna challenge.
Hey.
Coming out of buck 180.
Right. Yeah. We not doing that. There's a reason why he's on SWAT and doing the things that he's doing, right? Kicking the door down, talking about he just doing paperwork. No, you kicking that door down, bro. You too big to just be writing a pen, using a pen on some paper. Hey, but hey, doing that whole experience with George Floyd 2020, Ishma Valente, he's one of our team program. He's our director of, at the time he was community engagement, and he was able to work with the police department and got me involved heavily with the Hold Cops Accountable. That was one of the things that we did to try to bring some closure and some peace and understanding on both sides. That went really well. We knew that it was going to probably die off, but there were 5 subcommittees from that. And I believe it helped change some policies on the police department as far as the policing policies. So we're thankful for that. We've had events, community events together, to where they were at the park, and it almost was like a second Juneteenth out there, where there was about 700 people out there, free food, basketball, dominoes, spade. That was a great time for the adults. This just come together. But there was also a program that came out of that Ishma started. It was called Take Pause. And basically it was a program that he called it Take Pause because he wanted both sides to just take pause, right? Don't do something that you're going to regret later on both sides. Through that, their meeting, when they meet once or twice or 3 times a month, what they do is they learn the most important thing is they learn each other's verbiage. What I mean by that is because you have kids and you have people that's coming in from Mississippi, Chicago, New York, Detroit, and then you have officers who may have never seen a black person before except on BET and on Martin. And and they think that so to bring them together and to learn each other and plant trees in the community. You all planted trees and go to the movies and eat together and break bread. Y'all do those different things together. How has that been as far as your experience? Has that been more of a positive, or what have you seen from that?
It's been severely positive. It kind of brings peace to both sides. It's kind of a nice mental health. Not I'm gonna say a break, but it feels like a break because you can have a conversation with somebody without it being revolved around policing. Because generally, you talk to individuals with the worst days of their life, something's wrong. Nothing's going great. Nobody calls the police, calls 911, says, "Hey, I just want to tell you, how you doing? You doing all right?" It's not one of those conversations. Something's bad going on. So you're always conflict resolution with somebody, or you're trying to talk somebody down, or you get to go hands on with somebody. So it's always nice to have those conversations where you're just chopping it up, having a good time. You might play some cards, you might play a little basketball, or you're talking about something completely off topic that has nothing to do with what you do for a living. It's just nice. And at the same time, you can have those conversations with what happened, or how you feel about this, or things of that nature. So I thought it was an amazing experience to have that program get started and to keep going. And I like to see it continue and see the fruition of that.
Stanford Jr. and Ishma has really done a great job in educating and bringing the community. In fact, there's a community event coming next month, which is the basketball. You know anything about that?
Yes. So we have a basketball event coming up. The Malone Panthers are playing the police officers in a basketball game. We got beat badly last time.
Very bad, but
this time we're trying to do some recruiting to get some players that actually play some pickup ball. They actually they can dribble a little bit. They can do something with the ball. So we'll make it a little bit more competitive this go around. So we're gonna have that going on. We give some raffle prizes away at halftime, and it's a good time. Just to play some basketball and just to coke and joke a little bit and just have a good time.
I was there for the first one, and I may not make this one because we may be out of town, but that was a great time. It was a great time to see, and now with the new chief, I know it's going to be really great because she is really in the community. She really cares about what is going on in the community, and she's out here. She's out here, and
Yes.
she's making it known that she cares and wants to build positive relationships. Probably couldn't say that before, but this one here is definitely 100. Listen, Tarvis Banks, Captain Banks, frat brother, it's been a pleasure. We definitely got to have you on again. This has been a great time, and I wish we could have dived in a little bit more on some topics, but next time we will. Listen, this is John Goodwin. Mike, I don't know where you at, but I hope you good. This is 93.7 The Ticket, the Malone Radio Show. Until we meet again next week, y'all have a great night and a great week. Peace.
Whether you like fishing together or fishing to get away, for the thrill of reeling in a big one, or just going out to have a good time, on the banks of your local pond, at a bend in a river, or on one of our many lakes and reservoirs, you'll always find the perfect place to cast a line, here, beneath Nebraska skies. Start planning your next fishing adventure today at letsfishnebraska.com. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Serve Nebraska believes that volunteers are part of what makes Nebraska great. Each year, the Step Forward Awards honors volunteers from across the state who serve their communities in outstanding ways. We hope you'll join us this year at the Step Forward Awards luncheon on October 27th in Omaha. Help us thank volunteers with a celebration to remember. To register, visit serve.nebraska.com.